Alright, so this is Black Hill Road Race, Cat 4. Did the 4-5 right after this one. The Cat 4 in particular was one that I was trying to win because I knew the number of guys that were in this race um, was going to give me a good number of points, or at least I was hoping so. Anything with an uphill finish is where I want to be, so it's right there. So I'm going to do a full overview of this video. Hopefully you'll like it. So to start this race off, ended up going there with Henry. Didn't get too much sleep the night before because I was up studying. But Henry was like, yeah man, you can head up there with me. I was actually going to ride up there the same day. But ended up saving my legs because I knew I was going to do 2 races. So yeah, so the first thing you're seeing here is we're going up the big climb. We're doing it at a reasonable pace. Heart rate's pretty low. Power, 360, 370 is par for my uphill abilities, I'd say. So not like I'm really in the red or anything already. Immediately go up the hill and swing down. This is going downhill, so you'll often see that a lot of the guys start coasting. Sometimes I'm coasting down here. But if you can hit that hill right, it's pretty good. You can try and get some separation. And there are a few times where I look behind me. I wish I had a rear camera. I look behind me and I see big gaps opening up. So I'm just like, man, we gotta push it. But then I'd just be like, well, why am I working if someone else can come through? So I'd let them do it. If you look to the left there, you see Carter, Anthony Carter. Been doing a lot of rides with him lately. He's one of the guys I was actually out here to make sure I beat as sort of the local rival team, I guess, if you want to put it that way. If you look up there, you can actually see 2 guys go off the front early on. And I mean, I felt like I had good legs coming into this race, but when I look and I see that, I'm like, somebody's got to chase that at some point. Somebody's going to, because everything gets chased down in Cat 4s. So I'm looking, I'm waiting, and they're letting them go. And I'm like, well, I see one guy sort of trying to get up there. He looks like the same guy that was with him to start out with. He's chasing, no one else, everyone's noodling. And I'm looking, I'm waiting, I'm like, well, who's going to make the move? And then the other thing to be aware of is that center line. Man, that center line will get you. So I was thinking about squeezing between there, but I'm like, I don't know what he's going to do in the corner. He would have shut the door on me, so I'm glad I didn't do that. And I'm looking at Henry there. I know Henry was hoping to do well in this race. And there goes Orange. Orange hits it. Who's going to go with him? Hopefully everyone. And we're just noodling. Every time we got to, for some reason, this particular climb, guys would just, the guys in the front would noodle over the front of it, and everyone behind them would get railed. So then the guy's gone, and I'm like, well, now's my chance. Opened up for me, I'm like, well, let me give it a go. Let me see what I can do here. And I didn't jump on it because it was like a downhill, so I didn't get out of the saddle or anything like that. But I just gave it enough where I was hoping I'd roll off, and I looked back and it seemed like I had a decent gap. And I was like, well, let me just hold it to the climb, catch them, and maybe we could work. Because those are a lot of guys. 4 guys. It's hard for 4 guys to get that kind of gap on a Cat 4 race. So I'm hoping, and I look back, and of course Henry rolls through. So he probably dragged everyone up there with me. I wouldn't be surprised. But did he have the legs? I don't know. He hadn't been training as much as I told him to at least. NCVC there, always a good team to watch out for. And Artemis too. Artemis was another one that usually they have pretty strong guys, so I try to watch out for them too. But pretty straightforward. Every time I look over, I'd see Cam, Ryan, Jason, you know, a couple guys just cheering me on. And it was decent. It was a good race. But one thing, man, I gotta say, these juniors, sometimes some of these juniors are pretty, like, just keeping up with us, staying in the front. These juniors are crazy. But at the same time, you can sometimes tell they don't have the bike handle. Maybe it's because the bikes are too big for them or such. I don't know. This kid right here with the red on there, he got a sick bike. I told him that too. I love this bike. Another descent going down here. I think we did 10 laps. As you can see, I'm sort of letting the gap open up because I'm like, whatever. Somebody else will close that down. I shouldn't have to worry about that too much, which is true. And then looking up there, looks like 2 more guys rolling off. I didn't actually notice that at the time. But the kid in the orange, you'll see him. That Tony the Tiger kid that he had on. He was a strong dude. He was real strong. I noticed him. Noticed him enough to sit on his wheel in the next race. There's Carter. I know Carter was saying Carter right there with GII getting it in cyclist. He lasted, I think he said 4 laps with us, and then he was shelled. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it was that hill. That hill will get you. That hill will get you if you're not doing your repeats, man. Gotta do your repeats. So, swinging around, and if you sort of look to the inside on this corner, you can, or this one that's coming up actually, you'll be able to see like there was some sand there. And I actually didn't notice it, but later on in the race I actually started to notice that people were avoiding the very inside corner, probably because of that sand. But I trust my GP 4000s. I've ridden on everything with those things. And later on you'll actually see me start taking that line and I'd pass people. So it you gotta be bold. You gotta know what your bike's capable of. I know I certainly wouldn't do anything that dangerous, but I know what my bike can handle, and it paid off for me. So here we go. So get to this downhill again with the new one. It's like the guys on front just sort of they just coast. You can actually literally see up there that the guy on the front is coasting. Like why is he? Like, I get it, you want to save your energy, but come on. What can I say? I'm not up there. Racing smart, I suppose. I suppose we all are in a way, so what can I say? Now this was it. As every time we come around here, I'd say, what's the line? Where do I need to be so that when I hit this sprint, I can come around? And I spoke with everyone beforehand. They're like, all right, you need to be here. You need to go. You need to sprint at this point. So I'd say, well, where do I need to be able to sprint to, you know, if I'm in a good position? And if you just look to the left, oh, well, sorry, let me come back to that. This kid right here, oh my goodness, the bane of my existence. He was just throwing his bike so much. It was just dangerous. Honestly, like if you were next to him, the chances of your bars getting stuck in his were like exponentially higher than any other ride. Maybe he just didn't have the legs, he just hadn't grown into like being able to muscle up there or whatever. But the way he was just, it's like he was sprinting every time he came up that hill, which was to me was super dangerous. And I tried to point it out to him a couple times, like not in like a douchey way. I hope I didn't come off that way. But dude, you come on, man. It's a danger. But I mean, he was still promising, very promising rider. Like the fact that you'll notice this later on too, but he was in front of me for a good portion of the ride, the race. I go into all these races looking at it, it's just a group ride. Because what else is it? It's a Cat 4, Cat 5 race sometimes. It's just a group ride, honestly. Like that's all it is. We're just noodling around and sprinting at the end. It's just a sign sprint, right? But in any case, yeah, like I was saying, like when I come up to that hill, every single time I'm looking, I'm like, well, where do I need to be in order to hit that climb full gas? Where do I want to be? So every 10 laps, and every single time I'd say, what's the line? And you'll actually notice, going into each and every lap, that I swing over to the right side because the left side just doesn't move. The right side always opens up, clears all the way open for you. And hopefully I can show you that on this next coming up climb. But it was crazy. Like, look to the right now. Like right now, it's like, look at this dude. Look at NCVC right there. No one's there. No one's in his way. He could swing in right now and make up like 5 spots. Like it's ridiculous. But everyone's so strung out that because no one wants to work. No one wants to work. I get it, But me, granted I had like 3 teammates and it was me. I think Tommy was in this race too. And someone else too. I can't remember who it is. Sorry. But they were like Terry. Terry was in this race too. We had some numbers, but I mean, come on, like follow this. I don't think I saw a teammate the whole time get in front of me. So I sort of knew, like, coming into this, I was like, well, I'm usually the guy when it comes to the climbs. Like, that's my role. That's what I do. So, regardless of how the team shook out here, it was like I knew it was on me to make this happen. And I have the race experience. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to make it happen. It's just a matter of time, experience, and the training. Because what can you do? Now look at this. Sort of like I said before, when you come into this, everyone's strung out. Look at that right side. Look at that. Ridiculous. Squeeze past Artemis. Squeeze past NCVC. Like, we're going up a climb. Like, you don't need to be sitting on wheels. This is like 5%. It gets up to like 13% or something later. Like 8%. Look at that. We're not doing 20 up this hill. Like, you don't have to sit on. Like, I'm not saying fan out all over the road, but take it at your pace. Don't blow up. And some of that kid's bottom bracket too. I'm pretty sure that's his. I only hear it when it comes around. But take it at your pace and hit that right side. The right side opens up every time as everyone's sitting on. I didn't understand that, but I knew that's where I needed to be. Back into the descent. Sitting on there, I'm like, well, look at this guy noodling. If he's noodling, I'm noodling. There is no way I'm working in the guy in front of me isn't. And you can actually sort of feel that wind too. I think the wind was coming from the right side at this point. I wonder if we can, like, there are any signals, but I'm pretty sure I remember the wind coming from the right here. And then after all the turns and such, then we go into a headwind section, which you definitely didn't want to be on the front end, but noodling up this hill. Later on, though, we take this hill with some serious effort, because it's like you're setting yourself up in order to be in a good position for the final sprint. This is where everything's setting up. Guys are stringing it out, which is weird because, like, you usually don't see that from a Cat 4 race. But then I'll sort of explain why I think that is a little bit later. But it was strung out, and it's all about tactics, making sure you're in the right position. But hopefully we can go over that a little bit more as the race sort of winds down some. Now at this point, I'm wondering. I'm like, well, where's Henry? Because this course doesn't have the longest climb. It's certainly steep, but I know most of the rides that I've done with Henry, I'm like, well, he should be able to handle this. I'm like, that the climb it's not far to the sprint. Like, he should be able to sprint up there. Granted, you'll never hear me say he's a better sprinter than I am. I don't think he is, but he should be able to kick it. He should be able to at least get second behind me. But I never saw him, and I think he was just sort of making sure he just made it to the finish. Because when you do this climb enough times, everyone feels it. Everyone does. So people, I'm looking around and I'm like, well, who do I have to watch out for? I'm looking at Artemis. Artemis always has, some good dudes in there. Um, Bike Rack to me is a little bit suspicious because I know they have the numbers in this race, and I've seen what some Bike Rack people can do, especially when I don't know who they are. So it's turned out bad for me before underestimating Bike Rack. I think they're just sort of getting their legs under them for the race season and such. But I'm looking around, and who else am I looking at? I know that, sorry to say it, but the one kid with the bike throw, I was like, well, I don't have to worry about him because he looked like he was barely making it up those climbs. So I'm like, if I have to sprint against him, like, okay, good. And anyone tall. And everyone that's tall, I'm like, all right, they're a threat. But overall, I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm not seeing too many threats. The big thing really is Artemis, the one kid with the orange on. Sorry, I can't remember his name. Super nice guy. We spoke afterwards. He said he was looking at going to Virginia Tech. But the dude was a monster. He would just attack, and it's just like no one wants to chase that. And it'll look like he can sustain it. So I'm thinking, like, I want to be where he is, but if I don't make the move, if I'm not there to like in the area to make that move with him, like, I'm not gonna blow myself up before this climb trying to chase on, only for, I don't know, Henry to pull me back. So, oh, look at this kid with the shirt on underneath the jersey. I noticed that later on. I was like, dude, that is so not Aero. like no wonder you're like pedaling out of your mind to like latch on. But when I see, oh, center line, bro. For anybody that doesn't know, center line rule means traffic can go in the other direction. So if you pass that line, there's a chance traffic will be coming at you. So this is the kid here, the kid with the orange on, with the Haymarket. I noticed the Team Sky leg warmers there. Nice touch. But yeah, so I'm like, that's the guy I want to follow. I noticed him. I think he attacked 2 times so far in this race, and every time it looks like he's gonna go. And he told me he was thinking about going to Virginia Tech, which is awesome because hopefully they can rebuild their team. I used to race collegiate, so I'd love to see Tech doing their thing again. Solid team. Definitely on my list of grad schools, but that's for the future to decide, so to speak. So then we come up to this climb again, and let's see. I'm sort of towards the front here. Let's see how we take this. So I'm at, so we're getting it here. 400 watts, 3. I mean, we're not noodling. The power is definitely there. It's just, for some reason, it just seems like we're just in slow motion. Oh, he's trying to, I guess he's waving him through and no one's pulling through. That's the worst, man. Because anyone that we potentially shell, like, they can chase on if everyone's just noodling and guys don't want to come around. So the RCV kid is just sitting on, like, not rolling through. So it's like, why are you on the front? Why are you there? And then this guy just casually rolls off the front, and now you're chasing him. Like, for what? Like, why are you there? Why are you on the front if you're not willing to work? You have to at least take a roll. Like, because if you don't, it ruins the flow of the entire group. And I'm not just knocking on this kid, but people, Cat 4s and Cat 5s do it all the time. If you're a pure sprinter, you're not going to be up there. You're going to be, first top 10, top 15 or so, depending on how big the field is. But like, if you're not going to hit it, don't be on the front because you ruin everyone's pace. And we're not like at that Cat 3 level or anything like that where we have enough teammates where we can do tactics and such. So it's like, so no one wants to work because it's probably gonna come down to a sprint. but then don't be on the front. Like even right now, so like I'm 400, 300 watts, 400 watts. It's like I'm not just gonna get up there and just coast because I know guys behind me are like, let's do this thing. And if I can do 400 watts at what, 130 pounds, I know dudes are feeling it behind me. I know they are. So even though my heart rate's 186, which is threshold for me, I know dudes are feeling it. So I'm swinging over. I stopped pedaling. It's like I took my little dig, right? Somebody else coming around, and I'm waving them through, and guys aren't coming through. All right, I guess we're gonna coast, because I'm gonna have my legs. Since it probably will come down to a sprint, I'm gonna have my legs. Like I'm not gonna lay my life on the line, you know, and give up my chances of doing well. Like I'm all for working, but like I'll take a roll, but I'm not sitting up there for a lap. So, you know, understand that. So when you don't want to roll through, you have to at least provide, you know, motivation for the other guys to keep going. And the 2 RCV kids are still there. But are they going to take a roll? We'll see. I don't remember. But given that they haven't been, I'm going to probably assume not. But we'll see. And you can see what I mean about the yellow line where all the cars are over there. So they have to stop them in the corners because we sort of have to take the corners at the apex. But yeah, this guy's still on the front. More power to him, but you're burning matches that you don't have, man. I guess it depends. He looks like he's from Bike Rack. Bike Rack had like 4 or 5 people in this race. And later on, and Bike Rack's nice because they actually do, like, I see you can follow them through this race that they do try to do some tactics, you know, which is nice. I noticed they do it. District Taco does it if they have enough guys in the race. I can respect that. You wanna string it out. You wanna make guys earn it, and not just noodle around and hopefully you're in a good position to sprint. I think this race we averaged, I want to say like 23, 24. So it's not like, you know, even, I mean, granted, there was a lot of downhill in this race, but it's not like we were just noodling around, you know? And this person, I was trying to figure out if this was a dude or not. Like, I could not figure it out. I was like talking to Henry after the race, and I was like, yeah, that girl was like trying to lead him out. I was like, girl. It's like, yeah, the girl from, you know, Bike Rack. But I was like, wait, this is a men's forest. What the heck's going on? But, that kid is legit, though. Like, I'd totally wear that kid. It's good stuff. You know, at this point, what are we, like, 6 laps in or so? I'm still not terribly worried about position. I'm like, well, as long as I'm in the, what, like 60 guys, I'm like, as long as I'm in, like, top 20, top 15. Because once guys hit the climb, they're gonna, you know, take it at their pace. And my pace is faster than their pace, so I can come around any of these dudes. I'm not worried about the climbs. It's once we see that 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go. Once that bell goes off, then you have to watch everything. Because no one in 4s or 5s knows their limits well. Shout out to Ryan over there with the blanket on too. But no one actually knows their limits, which is a big downfall for a lot of guys. You'll see, like for example, as strong as the Haymarket kid was, like, attacking first lap, bro, like, you think you're that much stronger than the entire field that you're gonna get away on, like, lap 1? Like, I could see if he had teammates, but dude, come on, bro. Like, okay. But, and you'll see later on, too, like, a lot of people, like, attack on that last lap. And it's like, I mean, it's a good attempt, but you really think you're stronger than the field? Chances are you're not, man. Like, how many people you know can just ride away from a pack of people that are motivated to catch you? That's the thing. Like, that makes you. It's like everyone's motivated to get you because it's the last lap. If the pack wants to catch you, they're gonna catch you. You're not gonna get away. I've learned this through way too many group rides. Pull away, like I've had it work out one time because people didn't know if they wanted to chase. Like maybe more than one time, but off the top of my head, like I can only think of one time. So why would I try and do that in a race where everyone's fitness is generally okay, and then you got some strong guys in there? Like I'm not gonna blow myself up before the final climb. Like, because once the pack catches you, that's it. You know, everyone else is just noodling behind the people that's driving it, and you're stuck. So I didn't even play that game. And this is sort of what I mean too. Like, so if you look to the right, inside, no one's there. Like, why is there the stand? Everyone, I assume it's the stand that everyone's worried about, but everyone just funnels over. Like, I didn't understand it. Like this. So I knew, well, I was hoping at least that when it came down to the last couple of laps, that was going to be open again, and that was going to be my line. But we'll see how that goes later on. So right now, it's funny, you still see the same guys, that Rock Creek fellow kid, Haymarket, Artemis. So all the people that I was initially worried about, and even this tall kid from Kelly, all the people that I was worried about, they're all right there. So it sort of goes to show that, you know, I sort of know what I'm talking about. Nope, NCVC. Yeah, I remember when he did that. That hit me a little bit, because I was like, if he doesn't save that, that could turn out badly. And the one bit of good advice that buddy of mine, Thomas, he gave me some advice. He said, anytime you're going around a corner, take the inside line. Because if anyone slides out, they're going outward. Like, they're going into you if you're not on that inside line, which was solid advice. A lot of the things he said to me, you know, advice-wise, maybe not the best advice. But that's always stuck out with me. Always take that inside line. And I tried to, but clearly that time it didn't work. And then we hit the climb again. And then what do we see here? So you're really supposed to stay on, you know, on this side of that line. They were a little bit liberal with this race. Ooh, this guy. Yeah, and it's like, look at him throwing his. It's like, dude, you can't even get around him. You know, like, look at the other Rock Creek fellow kid. He's like had to go all the way to the other side. And now my heart rate's at 187. Now I'm feeling it. Highest I've ever gone and be able to keep pushing it is probably 196, 197. Anything above that, and it's like I gotta shut it down immediately. I've tested myself going above that. I've maxed out at 205 and nearly passed out. Thing, you know, to get that tunnel vision. Nearly passed out. Yeah. What else can we say here? This race in particular, like, and I was really shooting to do well with this race, but there aren't too many so that kid. So actually, if you roll that back, you'll actually see that kid. You can't hear it, but he rolled up on the side of me and was like on your right. And I'm like, yeah, this is a Cat 4 race. Because no one else is going to say that. They're going to, you know, move you out of the way or finesse through. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why is he even saying that? It's like it's not necessary. I see you. And I told him this after the race. I was like, you don't have to, like, I thought you didn't have to say it. Like, I saw you. But as soon as he rolled up, the NCVC person just shut the door on him immediately. Didn't even look, just rolled right over to the side, and he was shoved right into the grass, and his race was over. Because because it's like once you're automatically moved behind this massive group of people, and you can't see just how big this group is, because for the most part, I'm in, I do a decent job staying in the front, but this is nearly a full group of people. This is like, what, like 60 guys, I think? So if you get knocked into the grass, you got to reestablish yourself, maybe chase on, and hope you can, like, finish it. So what do we have, like 3 laps left? Like, your race is probably over. You're going to spend so much energy trying to get to the front, that your race is over. So I felt bad for the guy. But at the same time, you gotta expect that. You have to assume that people are gonna be all over the road. Ride safe, I can't just let you finesse your way inside. I was nice enough where I did let him do it because I didn't care. I don't care about positioning until the last 2 maybe. But I felt bad for the dude. So looking here, so heart rate 169. And the other thing, look at it. I think that dude has the same wheels that I do. Yeah, nice. Cosmics. But dude, you see some pretty expensive bikes out here. Like for the number of crashes that. Granted, their crashes aren't super. Like there were no crashes here. Look at that. He can easily wipe some money out. All right, let me stop picking on this kid. But there can be. And Cam's over there on the site yelling out good spot, shout out to Cam. I heard you and everyone else that was yelling every single lap, so I appreciate that for sure. I always like to listen out for the spectators. People don't believe that unless I'm sprinting. Like I hear everything, even when I'm sprinting. Like you can hear it. You can hear people. I'm not so zoned out that I can't hear anyone. Yeah, but back to these expensive bikes. Like at the start line, I saw some dude with like an S-Works. I'm like, S-Works in a Cat 4 race? Alright, man, if you have the money, I'm not gonna hate, but like, dude, you're racing on something that's like gonna give you marginal gains. Like, is it worth it? Like, there are some dudes out here, I know, my buddy Will, who races on like the heaviest bike of all time, and he's like crushing it. Granted, he's like been like a lifelong athlete, but like it just goes to show like you can roll up on anything on any given day and just like destroy. Like you don't need the deep dish wheels, you don't need the lightest bike. Like you don't need all these extra things. You can just roll up and just smash. Like, how have you been training? That's all I want to know. Like, what have you been doing? But some people, I mean, if you got the money, spend it. Hey, I don't. I mean, I'm not rolling around on a steel bike or anything by any means, but like, if your bike's worth twice as much as mine, you better be, doing something, Definitely that's one of the reasons why I haven't actually pulled the trigger on something more expensive, because I'm like, I gotta earn that, for me at least, for me. If I had the money, yeah, don't ask me twice. Yeah, give me that Super 6 Evo High mod, give me that tarmac. I'll take it. But I gotta earn that. Once I get out of 3s, once I get up to 3s, then I'll be like, I deserve it. That's when when it's not just, well, granted, fitness is always a huge thing, but it's like I feel like at that point you can't be rolling around on like a 18, 19 pound bike. Even though dudes do it. I need all the help I can get. Throwing his bike. It's just out of the saddle, man. So now it's gonna start getting real. So right side. I notice this every single lap. The right side always opened up. And now this made me sort of annoyed, because I look over and everyone on the front is noodling. Why? See, you'll hear me call them out. Like, if we're going slightly downhill slightly, and they're coasting. Like, why are you coasting? And later on, one of the guys told me, like, I'm not gonna say who, but a couple of the guys, were like, let's just chill on the front so that people can't come through for the sprint. Let's just noodle, for the remainder of this race, and then we can sprint it out. I'm like, what? Well, first off, that doesn't make sense because I'm not gonna have that. I'm gonna come through one way or another. And second off, like, why would you want to win that way? Like, let the best rider win this. Notice I didn't say like most fit rider or smartest rider, because it's a combination of those things. Don't just noodle. Don't ride dirty to like try and win. And there's Haymarket going again, and you can hear the bell. So the bell means that the last lap. So now we're gonna smash. Now we do it. So it's like, to me, even now, it's like, I can't let moves go, but do I need to be right there? So that's why I say take it, man. I let him slide in. Dude, take it. Funnel in, man. You burn your matches. You lead me out. Go get him. You lead me out. Because I don't need to be on the front right now. I don't even need to be fifth wheel. This is the beginning of the last lap. I'll take top 10 right now. I'll just sit on. Look at it, strung out. As long as no moves go. And again, on the Giant there, you hear me yell out easy because it's like, it's not necessary. You're railing the inside for what? We're not even on the first, I guess that's the first corner, but we're not even like, it's not even necessary yet. I'm still letting dudes funnel in. Because I'm like, dude, the race isn't, like, granted, the race is on, but like, it's not make or break just yet. So I'm like, dude, Red, hop in. Take it. Because I'm looking, I'm like, man, the more people in front of me, the stronger the lead out. Because I know somebody's going to go. Look at that. We got 2, 4, 6, looks like 8, 9 guys in front of me. That's perfect. That's the sweet spot. That is sweet. Look at that. That's a lead out right there. Because I know that guy on the front's not going to make it, and that's the bike rack. And I see them stringing it out. I'm like, they're lining it up. All right, good. Let me not let them do that. So that's why I swing over just ever so slightly to get that last bike rack guy to say, think twice about that. Slow him up. Just knock him off a bit. But I'm looking, and I'm like, looking at this, I'm like, well, the top 4 people are definitely not going to make it to, they're not going to be contending. Not for that sprint. Because they're going to waste so much energy getting there that they're not going to be in contention. But now I see the bike rack people move up. And I'm like, I have to move up. Because there are just too many guys now. Before it was perfect. Now it's too many. So I'm moving up. Moving up. And bike rack, I was like, oh, I need to be over there. Oh, man. And then Haymarket sits up. Cuts off bike rack. Perfect. Could not be any better. And then I'm like, well, I remember that the right side always opens up. Let me sit over here. So I'm on the wheel. I'm like, Artemis looks strong. Do I let him in or do I hang on to this wheel? I'll keep the inside. Always keep the inside. Swing it. Swing it. Just the right number of guys in front of me. And some guy yelled out, like, on your left. So I'm like, dude, don't let him through. Don't ever let him through. We're sprinting. This is it. Like, you don't give courtesies in a sprint. And Cam said, go at the entrance of that parking lot. And I went, and I'm looking. I'm like, dude, why is no one else kicking it? And I look over and see Artemis. But it's too late. It's game over. Now, if you look actually at my revolutions, I'm at 82. I am usually around 90, so overgeared. But still took it.